had a dream you left. Woke up in a cold, cold sweat.
A few years ago, I never would have imagined that living in such a megacity as Tokyo, I would be struck by the deep importance of nature and the inseparable symbiotic connection between people and the natural world. But it's exactly this that is at the heart of Kachofugetsu, an ancient Japanese concept that traces back to the Heian period over 1,000 years ago. It is a way of thinking that is deeply embedded in all levels of Japanese culture, from the countryside to major cities, in art, music, clothing, poetry, traditional gardens, and even their cuisine. Generally translated as the beauties of nature, ka means flower, cho means bird, fu is wind, and getsu is the moon. These four elements have been ever present, linking us back to our ancestors of the past. And yet, they are constantly changing from minute to minute, day to day, and season to season, teaching us not only our connection to the natural world, but also the importance of living in the present and appreciating every fleeting moment before it is swept away by the shifting winds. The theme of Kachofugetsu is almost ubiquitous throughout Japan, not only in historical art and poetry, but in the everyday, where they have even been taken up by modern advertising campaigns, from beer for adults to what my students almost unanimously agreed was their favorite fast food restaurant. Jugoya, the full moon festival, has been observed since ancient times, when people step back to admire the beauty of the moon. On this night, if you walk past your local shrine under the moonlight, you might even witness a hauntingly beautiful kyogen performance, a traditional form of theater that has been performed for hundreds of years. In Japan, every season, every blossoming flower, every singing bird, every waxing and waning moon, they do not go unnoticed, and each seems to have a beautiful story or a piece of history behind them. This is also the case in even the most metropolitan areas of Tokyo, where one might assume that the subtleties of nature would be smothered by all the concrete and the flashing lights. But during my time there, I came to learn that in such a fast-paced, never-sleeping city like Tokyo, taking the time to just stop and breathe and absorb the peaceful energy of nature becomes all the more precious. At my school in the Asagaya district, just a few stops away from the mega-urban Shinjuku, home to the busiest railway station in the world, I could see that school children are still being taught the importance of nature in their daily lives and are being introduced to the themes that make up Kachofugetsu. In home economics, they sewed flower patterns onto their aprons, and in art class, they were taught to make models of traditional Japanese sweets, which are known for their connections with nature through their intricate seasonal motifs. As students get older, they learn about ikebana, the ancient form of flower arrangement that demonstrates Japan's deep connection with nature in the form of flowers, wild plants, and trees. Some students choose to join sado, or tea ceremony club, which is also deeply rooted in nature and the changing seasons. In the summer, some of my students were eager to continue practicing their English and met with me every week to write scripts, visit local spots, and conduct interviews so that they could make informational videos introducing foreigners to their hometown. Asagaya is well known for its long-standing traditional sweet shops, and so we went to visit one where the students made their own nerikiri and learned about how these sweets tie nature, tradition, and the Japanese people together with their use in tea ceremonies and the reflection of the seasons through their ever-changing colors and motifs. During my time living and working in Asagaya, I learned that the spirit of Kachofugetsu is so deeply embedded in the Japanese culture that even in the most unlikely of places, surrounded by cutting-edge technology, skyscrapers, and millions of people rushing to and from work, Tokyoites still have an appreciation for the balance between ourselves and nature, and many take care to incorporate pieces of the natural world into their daily lives. So, whether you want to go and experience the excitement of the biggest metropolis in the world, or step back in time and explore ancient architecture and the exquisite nature that has been revered by the Japanese for thousands of years, Tokyo has it all. Leave what you know behind. Join the JET program, go to Japan, and discover a whole new way of viewing the world. いってらっしゃい。